G'day, Aussie Bonsai bloke here, how you going? G'day guys, first of all I just want to say thank you guys so much for all your support and comments in the last video. Means a lot to me, very emotional reading all the comments, but I really thank you guys for all the comments, and the bonsai community is just, you know, a massive amount of support. So such a great community, whether you're in a club, online, or wherever you are, you know, really stick together. So thanks very much everyone for your comments. I've read them all. I haven't replied to any, I probably won't, but just know that I've read them all, and thank you guys very much for all your support. Today, going to be working on this pomegranate. I'm in the middle of me coffee, my old Port Power cup. Well, my new Port Power cup, and just having a nice coffee in the shed. So let's get into it. So I'm going to weed it first, so you guys can see what's going on in there. So once again, weeding's pretty boring. You just chuck them all out, pull them out as much as you can. Some roots are going to snap off in there. So let's get that done in a flash. Cheers. G'day guys, welcome back. I'll give you a quick spin of the trunk down here, quite good. Me and Seth picked this as the back of his tree back here, just because it was a little bit boring up here. It does go away from you and come back, but most of the structure comes out the front, or what we've called the front, out that way. So somewhere around here is the front, but I'm thinking more of an angle that way, and I may have to do something with this secondary little one on the side, shorten it, make it a little bit more interesting, because the back of it's sort of hidden behind here anyway, so maybe just have a little one. And we've also got to do a bit of carving on here. I won't do the carving today and hollow it out today, but we will do the branch selection and the shoot selection. So I think, so we can see what's going on, I'm just going to go back and shorten all of these shoots, so there will be only two from any one location, and also quite a short little shoot. So you can see that one there, it's back to two, and very short little shoots. So here, cut it back, short little shoots. And then once we've got these short little shoots sorted out, then we can go in there and make some bigger cuts, because there's definitely going to be some bigger straight branches that are going to need to be revised, just to give this tree a little bit more character and a bit more shape, because at the moment there's a lot going on, and some of it is quite straight and boring, but a lot of it is just beautiful gnarly stuff. You can see here the rats have chewed out one of the, or a couple of the pomegranates, so we've got a bit of a rat plague going on out here at the moment. Good old rats. I think I might have got one yesterday. Not sure what happened. He come crawling in the shed looking pretty sick and then died. Maybe the dog got him. So yeah, I'm going to go along and shorten all these nice little short shoots, and then probably come back to you in a second when they've all been cut, and then we'll make some bigger styling choices and decisions to try and emphasize the good parts of the tree, and maybe delete some of the boring parts and improve the overall look of the tree. Like you can G'day guys, welcome back. Well, we've got all the little branches shortened back, cut off some of the really long ones, but still left the long shoots so that I can just go through it with you guys to delete or get rid of shoots that we don't want. I had a bit of a look at it. If you go straight on or show more of this little trunk here, it takes away, hope you agree, but the character of this trunk. And the more you turn it around that way, the more character this trunk gets. The more you spin it back that way so you can see the second trunk, the straighter and less character this main one seems to get. So you got two options. I think you can leave it like that sort of an angle. When it gets repotted, put it at that sort of an angle. It's probably getting to a point we could put it in a better pot than this one. You could probably also, there's another option, is if you got rid of that whole side completely, there's actually not a bad front of that main tree with a nice root spread down here, really starting to flare out and get that muscly sort of veins to the pomegranate. So that's an option, but not an option I'm willing to do yet. You could leave that little trunk behind as well and just have it as, you know, some depth to the planting. But I think for now I am going to go with that as a bit of a front. So, alright, let's go through it and work out what's kind of a little bit boring. I'll sit around the other side of you guys and let's have a look. So yeah, I feel like this one here is quite boring. How far to chop it back? I think we go all the way back. We'll chop it halfway first. Maybe go back a bit more. No, I actually think it's enough. Then you'll still get some good movement out of it. Let this one grow maybe a bit taller at the front here. Now we've got the side here, which is actually dominating as a top. I think we're going to have to get rid of that straight section here and pull that one back down. And then we can just develop the side branches there. This one here has become too tall. So I think that way it'll give us a nicer shape, deciduous sort of a shape. Maybe shorten it a bit more. They grow back extremely fast, so don't stress too much if you cut it back what you think is a little bit hard. I may even chop that bit off, shorten that bit, and yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. Now let's move around to this part here. I feel like it's not bad, but if you look at this nice curly one here, you can see all the movement and character in that one. This branch here. This one here is very straight with not a lot of character. So we've got two options. We can shorten it. We can keep it. Or we could get rid of it completely. I feel like I still want to keep it. I feel like let's just shorten it a bit first, see what it looks like. I think that's better already because it's not dominating or competing for the top now, so it's sort of quietened it down enough that your eye doesn't get drawn to it, I think. And because it's shortened that straight section up the top, I think it's looks like it's got a bit more character now. Probably shorten this back one here. Okay. So we're pretty happy with that. I don't really like this section here. It's just sort of straight. Let's shorten that a little bit. like I say, don't stress too much. It does grow back pretty quickly. And I think maybe this one here we do have to go back further. And then when it regrows, all the stuff that regrows will be a lot finer. We'll keep on top of it rather than letting it grow long and strong like it was on top. We'll keep cutting it back harder and harder. Let some of the sides grow out a bit. But the shape of the thing's not bad. It'll probably finish out about here, but hopefully with a lot more twigging. So I think we should let it grow from around about back where we've cut that. And now we've got this one here at the back. We don't really want it to be the same height as the front top of the apex. I know it's sort of like a deciduous, well it is a deciduous tree, but you don't have an apex as such. It's a bit of a broom style, but you still want a dominant top and everything sort of comes down after that. And I don't think a dominant back branch is great, so we're going to have to shorten that one. Question is how far. I feel like by the time all that grows in and that, I reckon we've got to probably come back to here. And maybe this one to here. Maybe I'll even get rid of this whole fat bit on the back and go back to this shorter one. Let's do that. Yeah, I think that's better. Has to be now. We cut it off. Or I cut it off. Over here you can see quite a boring straight bit. It's funny, you know, the more straight bits that you get rid of, then a bit that didn't look that straight and looked like it had a bit of character starts to look straight, because then it becomes the straightest part of the tree. So it's a bit like if you do some cleaning, what you thought was clean becomes looking messy once everything else is cleaner than that. It's a bit the same with this. For the main tree, I think we're getting there now. I don't like this section here. I feel like it's too strong for where it is. I think we should cut back maybe just to that fine little twig there. Shorten it. And now that we've done that and shortened everything else, I'm starting to not really like the strength of this one at the top. I feel like it should be finer. And if that's the case, I feel like this one here could go back even one more and go a bit finer, and this one could go back one more. You're better off cutting it all back a little bit harder now and then keeping on top of the twigginess as it regrows than, you know, either putting up with too strong shoots at the top later on, or later on changing your mind, deciding you don't like it and then cutting it back, and then you've lost, you know, it could be 5 years worth of growing for nothing. Now we've got to decide what we want to do with this one. So you're not going to see much of it. Let's try just shortening it to here for a second. Okay, so that didn't work. Now all we've got is emphasize this straight bit here. So, you know, it can be a bit of trial and error, but that made it worse. You could try chopping off there. Okay, so it's given it a bit more character again. It's going to follow out here. I'm still not liking it much. I'm going to cut it back to here now. Let that shoot out. Still got a knob there. I'm going to have to cut it back further. Get rid of that knob. So you can see that knob on there. Got fatter. So we got rid of that. I feel like we can build something from that. Let it shoot out here. Let it build something. I do want to keep this one as a a back filler branch for when you like spin the tree or someone looks around the back, but I don't like this big straight section here, so I might chop it back to this little guy here and see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty good, because then you can get a bud come out of here, get a little shoot out here, a few shoots out here, fill in the back, and it's believable transition from fat to thinner to thinner to thinner. If I cut it back more, you're going to go from quite a fat branch to a little twig. And yes, it will fatten up in time, but I think we're already down short enough that we can develop quite a lot of ramification in that little area. So I think we're doing pretty well. I think we're close to calling it. I've just give it another spin. Let's give it a full spin. So there we go. That's probably around the front there. Give it a full spin. And there we go. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna carve it out to give it a bit more character as well. But I'll do that in a later video, maybe in a few weeks' time. It's a good time of year to do it, but we'll do it in a future video. So it's a good idea too to get back to the camera and have a look yourself in the camera and then spin it, because sometimes in the camera things look different to real life and it can really make a bit of an eyesore really stand out. So spinning it around like that, I'm not liking this one here. Don't know if you guys agree, but it just really hangs out there. You can see it again there. And this one here too. Let's shorten those and let it reshoot. Just too long a straight section without any real reshooting. I'm going to do the same with this little guy back here. And there was another one somewhere. This one. Let's cut him back, let him reshoot. The idea is to get, you know, different directions on all the branches as much as you can without too many long straight sections, especially on a tree that's got good character like this one. Certain trees can tolerate, you can put straight sections in them. Just depends on the overall style of the tree. But this one here, I feel like a bit of a gnarly look to it is the way to go. Now, is that one still competing? You don't want to keep cutting and cutting until nothing's left though. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna have to cut that one. I don't like it. What do you reckon? Did it help it? Did it wreck it? Don't know. Time will tell. But you can see it's gonna be a cool little gnarly tree. Around about that big. And hopefully it turns into something decent. Okay. So the direction of the tree will be that way. So I'm starting to think this one here is hanging too far out this side. So if we want the direction of the tree to go that way and then have that little bit of a tree underneath, maybe, just maybe, we need to shorten some of this. Yeah, maybe even back to there to really push it all back that way. Maybe shorten some of, don't go too crazy. I'll just shorten this one here. I'll leave it at that for now before I cut everything off, and you know, over time we can change our minds a little bit in the next few months if we decide it needs more cut off. But I think that's enough to allow some flow over that way. All good. Right. Okay, cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Once again, thanks very much for everyone's support. And we'll see how we go moving forward with videos and things. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for watching, everyone, and enjoy your bonsai. Cheers.